Hi, we're the New Gen Leaders and I'm Claudio da Silva.
I'm Deirdre Olwache.
And I'm Marissa Hubert.
And I'm Murray LaRue.
Hi, and welcome to the Saffron Marks Management System, a marks management and analytics portal for universities and schools. Whether you're receiving marks or entering them, our goal is to make the full control of this much easier. By also integrating this with an analysis engine, we allow you to analyze all aspects of student and module marks to check whether students are falling behind or not. The goal of this is to help improve student marks as well as make it easier in all for lecturers and other sorts of teachers to access and manage their students without letting anyone slip by. The system itself is based on a Node.js basis, to which it is split into a client-server model, where the server runs on an Express backend and the client runs on an Angular 2 backend. The analysis portion of this project is built on a Python backend, using the Keras framework, which is a Python deep learning library built upon Google's open source software library for machine intelligence TensorFlow.
From the dashboard, an admin with the appropriate privileges can go to the Add Students tab, which is found in this navigation bar. Once they have access to this tab, they can either add a single student, which is just one student name, one username, and one student email, which they can submit, and that will add a single student to the database. Or they can choose an Excel file to upload, which contains a bunch of students to upload at the same time. And what the time series prediction system will do is it will take that Excel file, analyze the spreadsheet within, and take all the necessary data from that Excel spreadsheet and add that data to the database. So let's try and add a single student. Also to note, when one of the fields are not filled in, you will get a nice notification at the bottom line here to tell you that you need to fill in all of the fields. So now we are adding a single student and the database replies with a successful message. Now we will try to add a file. Here we have an Excel spreadsheet. We can quickly preview this. Inside here we can see there are different students which we can add. Let's choose this and submit. Then we can see here that all of the students have been successfully added to the database. And this is the tab to efficiently and easily add new students to the overall system.
Logging in as an admin user gives you a bunch of extra options, such as add module, add students, enroll students, and adding staff. If you go to add module, you can add any kind of module. So for instance, let's add COS 333, and the module name would be programming languages, and it tells us the module has been created successfully. Now we can also go to add staff for that module, and we'll see the module listed here. Then we can add a staff member to this module, and we can add a permission level, where view allows you to view the marks but not edit them, edit allows you to edit marks, and manage allows you to add assignments and more higher level permissions. Now if we go back to the main menu, we'll see that we have editing rights for COS 333.
From the dashboard, a user can also go to the tab called Enroll Students, which is located up here. Once they navigate to this page, they have the option to enroll a bunch of students for a specific module for a specific year. So first of all, you specify the module code, which has to be an existing code. Then you specify the year that you want to enroll these students for, And let's predict, or let's enroll them for next year. The current year is 2017. And then this interface also checks whether all the fields are filled in or not, and it will notify you if one field is left out. Then another thing about this interface is that you can also choose an Excel file, and the time series prediction system will analyze that spreadsheet within the file and extract the student numbers to be added to the module for the year. So here we can see a file with student numbers, and also note that the student numbers has to be student numbers of existing students in the database. And there we see the students have been enrolled successfully for the module code FGT for the year 2018. And this is the enrolled students interface.
The time series prediction system allows users with the rights to manage modules to add assignments to those modules. To do this, the user clicks on the Add Assignments tab. Once the page for Add Assignments has loaded, the user can then select a module that they want to add an assignment to. They can select the type of assignment that they are adding. They can enter the name of the assignment that they are adding. They can select the deadline date of the assignment, and then they can finally type in the link to the PDF of the assignment. And then they would press submit to add the assignment to the database. In order to add marks to an assignment of a module, a user that has rights for that module will click on the Edit Marks link next to that module. Once the Edit Marks page has loaded, the user can then decide which assessment to add marks to. In this example, we will add marks to the exam for COS 301 by clicking on the Edit Marks button next to the exam. This page will allow the user to select and enter marks to specific students. To search for a specific student, the user will just start typing the first couple of characters of that student's number. The user can then enter a mark by either changing the mark with the dialogues or just simply typing in a mark. Once the mark has been entered, the user can press save. When we go back to those marks, you can then see that this mark has been saved on the system. This can be done for multiple users at once, so we will just add some marks here to show that functionality. Once the marks have been entered, we can press save, go back, and the marks will still be there.
Given the correct permissions, and once we have selected the correct CSV, in this case we'll be using the student marks.csv, which contains 5 initial grades in order to train on for this demo. We can either run a student analysis or a module analysis. Now let's run a student analysis. What this does is takes the student marks.csv and sends it over to the Python backend to correctly analyze, which will generate a matplotlib graph and send it back to us here on the front. Now, this blue line indicates our actual received marks. This is the marks we have received and are training on. The marks prediction line shows us what we are expecting our marks to look like throughout the semester. Now, this does not tell us the actual marks we will be getting, but is a trend line to show us how our marks expect to continue along. As we have seen, the marks for this have been quite consistent, thus creating a consistent trend line across. Now, the 50% line is our warning indicator. If at any point the red line falls below this 50% line, it is an indicator that you are likely to fail, even if you have the chance to pick it back up. If the red line falls completely below the 50% line, it tells you that you are unlikely to come back from this semester, and it is a good chance to deregister everything you've been doing. So if we run this unattached from any client or server, we can see exactly how it works in the backend. Using Keras and the TensorFlow backend underneath that, we can use an LSTM recurrent neural network in order to best fit the model. This can take a long time depending on the size of your data set. In our instance, this case, 5,000 students in the current data set. That should take upwards from 10 to 15 minutes, and obviously depending on whether you're using CPU or GPU and how good your PC is.
The time series prediction system login page provides an option for users who have forgotten their passwords. To reset their password, a user will click on the Forgot Password link on the login page. This will take them to a dialog box that prompts them to enter their email address to reset their password. Once they have entered their email address, they will be sent a link with the password reset token. This link will take them to another dialog box that looks very similar to this one, where they will simply enter their new password and save it to the system.